It's time for Friday Night Flights, sponsored by Bayport Credit Union, Hercules Fence, Tidewater Community College, and Smith & Key.
How about that? Welcome back for another season of Friday Night Flights. Thanks for joining us. I'm Craig Loper. He is James Catato. One of the best times of the year, James. The temperature changing. We're getting into that fall weather and high school football back in a big way.
That's right. We've never been more back, Craig. The area loaded with talent as always. It's going to be another great season. We have a couple defending state champions coming in this year. Phoebus and Maury, speaking of tonight, the Commodores, and a great non-district matchup.
Yeah, against defending 4A Maryland State champion Wise High School out of Upper Marlboro. Now, Maury went up to there last year and won this game 34-14. Two defending state champions. I was here for this one, matched up at beautiful Powhatan Field. Slow start in the game. Both defenses were playing well. Late first quarter, Wise trying to get something going, but it's a fumble recovered by Clemson commit Ari Watford, the #1 player in the class of 2012 in Virginia. Scoreless at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter now. Commodores driving. Atori Newkirk, play action. LeBron Bond, diving touchdown. Gets to the pylon, 25 yards, 6-0 after the failed PAT. Under 6 minutes in the first half now. Commodores going to cap an 11-play, 48-yard drive. Newkirk to Bond again. Bond, clearly a fan of the show, loves my camera. He's going to Indiana. He's got the gloves. 13-0 at that point. Daree McCain trying to keep his team going. On the ensuing kickoff, the Pumas took it 90 yards deep into Maury territory. Eric Wedge, the 1-yard quarterback sneak, made it 13-7. This game got really close towards the end. And the Commodores, though, Cameron Simmons had the go-ahead rushing score. Maury wins 20-14, their first win of the season. Intriguing non-district matchup in Chesapeake. Oscar Smith taking on Norcom from Portsmouth. Greyhounds played tough in the first half. Into the second quarter here, they're down 28-16. Look at the goal line stand before halftime. Ramir Schoolfield made a tackle without his helmet on. You don't see that every night. Third quarter now. Tigers back with the ball. Burke working in the red zone. Brandon Nesbitt, short TD run. Drayon Wallace on that line, blocking, opening things up for them, 35-16. Little later, Greyhounds, quick pass. Tigers, Jaden Coble, TFL. That's the younger brother of former Tiger star Sherrod Coble, now at Clemson. Later on, late third quarter, Lonnie Andrews. We know him as a passer, but don't sleep on his legs. Keeps it, tucks it down, chunk first down. They flip sides of the field to start the fourth. That's Travis Johnson, one of their best players. Rushing score for him. Oscar Smith wins tonight at home, 54-16.
Not one of the most anticipated games on the slate tonight, Craig.
Yeah, 3-time state champions, Phoebus, back-to-back-to-back, riding a 35-game win streak. They were on the road tonight against fellow Commonwealth powerhouse Highland Springs.
Great matchup. The Phantoms in Class 4. The Springers now compete in Class 6 and have won 5 state titles in the last decade.
Yeah, crazy.
The Springers 1-0 to start the year following their Week 1 win in our game of the week, but today's test may be their hardest since their state championship last year. In a game dominated by Phoebus, they put up 3 in the fourth with this field goal. Not to be down and out, though. Highland Springs quarterback connects with Damari Brooks and gets them within striking range. The next play was meant to put points on the board, but ended up being an interception. This ball bounced around, and it's the Phantoms. I know, right? They come up with this one as they come into the 8:04 and leave with the win over Central Virginia's best, 23-7. Moving on to action from the Beach District. Green Run loaded with Division I talent, and the Stallions have a state title on their minds.
Yeah, they opened last week with a 54-0 win over Tallwood. Tonight, Green Run on the road against Kellam. Here come the Stallions in the all-whites too, James. I like
Gorgeous.
that. So much talent on this roster. Guys like Charles Jackson, #3, ankle breaker of a cut there, moving the chains for the first down. Same drive, Jackson under center. That's the Wild Stallion formation. The keeper, 7-0. Green Run. A little later, Kellam punting it away, but it ends up with the Stallions, one of them, their top playmakers. That would be future Virginia Tech Hokie Jaden Anderson down the sideline, 70 yards later. Or long punt return there for a score, extends the Green Run lead to 14 points. Still in the second quarter, Kassan Farrar, player of the week. Check it out on wavy.com. James did that feature story, hands it off to Jackson. Jackson does the rest. This time, 15 yards. That made it 21-0. The points kept coming for Green Run, and so did the punishing defense that kept the Knights out of the end zone. How about that sack? Green Run improves to 2-0 after a 49 shutout win over Kellam.
Staying at the beach, look at this view. Cox at home against Bayside. Both teams 1-0 on the season heading into this one, looking for momentum. Greg, you know who's great at keeping momentum?
Who's that?
Sophomore running back Tyree Jeffries.
Okay.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling his way into the end zone to open the scoring account early in the first quarter. Extra point no good, and Bayside would capitalize. Dropping back under center. Quarterback finds Kyron Brown, and Brown just juking out of his shoes, getting down the sideline, finding the pylon. Bayside went up 7-6 and then would only score 3 points in the rest of the game because this Falcons defense locked up. Jawan Mack, the junior, with the sack. He's getting hyped up, and Cox had a reason to get hyped up. The fans were in attendance tonight. Cox wins 47-9. And Kempsville trying to rebound from last week's loss to Salem. Chiefs taking on Princess Anne. First quarter, Kempsville already up 7-0. Bad snap by PA. On the Chiefs, Jason Galloway going to jump on it in the end zone for the score to go up 13-0. Second quarter, same score. Christopher Spence slings this one and finds the senior Emmanuel Mingo wide open in the end zone. Chiefs up by 20. Then check this play out. This one, you know, there's a lot going on here, all right? A.J. Martin picks off Spence in the end zone. Craig, this is one of those plays where you just have to wait for it. So
let it breathe.
Yeah, he's just returning it.
Keep
returning
going.
The interception. Keep on going. Keep on going.
Cutting.
He actually gets stripped on the interception. The Chiefs gonna recover. What a bounce back. What a way to rebound from last week's loss to Salem.
Yeah.
Kempsville winning this one in a big way, 51-0. How
about Lansdowne against Tallwood at the beach? Both teams in search of their first win of the season. Tallwood fans out in full force tonight. They called it a neon out. You see the neon colors. Tallwood in purple here as they led 13-12 at the half. Third quarter, Lansdowne on offense. Quarterback brought down by Elijah Colley. Very next play for the Eagles. And it's the Lions defense that steps up. Elijah Vasti, one of the players, in on that sack. How about that? A little later, Lansdowne's back on offense. Love those jerseys, by the way. Terrell Bailey cuts outside, breaks the tackle, 15 yards. He finds the end zone to put his team back on top, 18-13. We also want to shout out Eagles running back Zahir Simmons. He's not in the highlights, but he was running hard all night long. And speaking of Terrell Bailey, he plays defense too. Here, a big defensive stop. You just seen it. Lansdowne gets the 18-13 win over Tallwood in a good, close game at the beach. All right, we're just getting started on the season premiere of Friday Night Flights. When we come back, going to head to Smithfield, where the Packers took on Churchland in a close game tonight.
Plus, Western Branch taking on a big challenge by hosting a private school power from Richmond.
We're the Falcon cheerleaders, and you're watching Friday Night Flights. We'll be right back.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Max Pemberton on the key.
Churchland lost its opener last week against Kings Fork in Suffolk. Tonight, the Truckers on the road against Smithfield. We're in the first quarter. Truckers, they got the ball, but it's a failed handoff. Look, they were trying to get some jet sweep action going. William Flythe on the recovery. We're in the second quarter now. Packers with it. Pass to number 8, Amon Rollins. That's a dart. How about that? And he's in there. Catch and run, pushed in. Packers go up 7-0. Now, Truckers back with the ball. They're trying to get the pass game going. Dontavius Booker. He's going to eventually get this one. And there he is. There's Booker. The leap, hurdle, picks up some yards. But Smithfield wins a close game, 14-13. Now to Norfolk, home opener for Booker T. Washington. The Bookers with the tough matchup tonight, James.
This was a very hard opponent. They took on the always talented Lafayette Rams from Williamsburg, a team that lost in the Class 3 state championship game last year. We got to this game at halftime, Craig. The Rams were already up 48-0, and it was running clock. And the running game was the theme for Andy Lynn's squad tonight, going wild out of the wing tee. Joshua Simpson with the handoff and the truck job to get him into the end zone. At this point, it was 56-0. Then Cordell London gets in on the action, pretty much just mirroring Simpson, gets in the same way. Offense firing on all cylinders, and then the defense doing the exact same thing. Obviously, if you're going to pitch a shutout, like you see on the bottom of your screen, you're going to be putting in the work. And then Bryce Johnson was going to cap it off. The little run. This one, that's really a big run.
Nice run, yeah. Big
nice
right
run
at
here.
us, too.
Andy Lynn's guys getting the job done 68-0 tonight.
I had Darlene in Hampton, Kickotan hosting Granby from Norfolk. First play of the game, wide receiver Shanique Wright gets the ball, He's flying down the field. We're going to find him eventually. There he is. There goes Wright. 96 yards up the sideline, 13 seconds into this one, and all of a sudden, the Comets are rolling, and they're up early on. Still in the first quarter, Jashawn Redden passes to Wright again.
Oh, man.
How about that? Comes down with that one. He's got a return touchdown and a receiving touchdown, 14-0. Next up, Dravion Farrington. Talked to him this summer. Great kid, gets the ball, makes his way through a sea of green. All of a sudden, he breaks free up the sideline, shows the wheels, and it's another touchdown for Granby. Jashawn Redding again throwing.
He's just
to
airing it
Shanique
out.
Wright. How many? I mean, Shanique Wright's all over this highlight. Numero uno, coming up with 3 touchdowns. Just in our highlight, the lower is empty there. It was 36-0 Granby at the end of the first quarter. I think they won big. I think it was 79-0. I think I heard the score.
That's a dominant showing.
So, yeah.
In Chesapeake, Western Branch with a tough test against Richmond Private School Power Benedictine. In the fourth quarter, Cadets have the ball to start it off, handing it off to number 3, Riker Cook. And Riker let him cook because he was running through a bunch of Bruin defenders to get to the end zone here for a touchdown. Benedictine up 31-13. The Bruins really couldn't muster up all too much on offense today. You see the short pass here to Trey Miller. Miller couldn't really accumulate too many yards here. He was taken down, and then the same drive, they would be intercepted by Cadets number 20, Caleb Sandy. Benedictine walking out of there with a 31-13 win.
Great Bridge at Norview tonight. We're going to go to the fourth quarter. Norview at the 5-yard line, down 20-0. Zyquez Williams gets the ball, looking for an opening. He's going to charge through. Touchdown for Norview. And they're trying to have some fight in this one. Great Ridge with the ball now. William Englert passes the ball to Quintarius Tillman, trying to find his way through. Breaks open, out air, finds green grass. Touchdown, Wildcats. He gets out in front. 5 minutes left in the game. Great Bridge again. How about this one? Long pass, wide open. And he's home free as Great Bridge out of Chesapeake takes down Norview of Norfolk 34-6. Next up, big private school showdown in Virginia Beach. Catholic against Atlantic Shores. Highlights from the Sportsplex next on Friday Night Flights. Private school action, Atlantic Shores and Catholic at the Sportsplex. This Atlantic Shores team, very, very talented. Third quarter, Seahawks already up big with a running clock. Corey Williams picks off Braden Ackerman. He's going to fight all the way back to the end zone. That is a pick 6. Atlantic Shores would kneel instead of going for an extra point. I'm telling you, I did the season opener for Atlantic Shores. They got a lot of talent. They air it out, and they are going to be a team to be messed with, I guess, in the private school ranks. So 48-0, Atlantic Shores wins.
Last night at Darling Stadium, Warwick against Bethel. Warwick made a region final last year. First quarter, Warwick wearing white. 4th and 3. And Saeed Williams Jr. going to keep it. First down for the Raiders. Warwick, however, would have to settle for a field goal, so Zach McMorris-Webb going to connect on the 35-yarder. It's 3-0 still in the first. Williams, a short pass to Nijan Humphrey, and that's going to be a 20-yard touchdown. Warwick blowing out Bethel, getting the job done there. They win big, 47-0.
We got one more play here, I think. Oh, we're going to go to some scoreboards. All right, Ocean Lakes over First Colonial, 51-7. Indian River wins big over Lakeland, 56-3. So, we got more. All right, go ahead, James.
Yep, 35-0 over Heritage. They're 1-1 on the year, and then Gloucester falling to York, 21-6.
Matoka beats War Hill 35-0, and then Bruton takes care of business against Nandua. They're 2-0 in the season after tonight's 39-0 win. Week 1 of Friday Night Flights. The Chopper will be back Monday. There was an issue, maintenance, the Richmond accident yesterday. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes of the show.
Yes.
For James Catato, I'm Craig Loper. Thanks for watching. We will see you back here next Friday night. Have a good one.